GGRC.
Hey everybody, welcome to another QuickSave Review with me, RC, here on GGRC. Of course, my co-pilot, co-host, Sushi over here, along with me for the ride, so to speak. Guys, a QuickSave Review is basically where I combine a Let's Play, and here we go, here's some music. Very nice. I combine a Let's Play with a review here. And today we are taking a look at Arizona Derby. Now, most of the time in these videos, I don't play through the whole game. I play through a portion of it, and I give you my thoughts on it with a little bit of gameplay. And Arizona Derby is a game where, to give you full credence here, it's a game that I've had for a few months now because it was early access up until last week. It just came out last week. It's now completely available on Steam. Actually, I didn't do my due diligence here. I wanted to see how much it is. This is a game that is $18.99 on Steam, so it is a budget title, so keep that in mind. So not like a huge, money suck or anything like that. Also want to apologize if in this video my FPS is dropping. More than likely it's going to be because of the optimization of this game. So I have some good things to say about this game, and I have kind of a lot of bad things to say about this game, which I'm never usually happy about because I usually like to keep everything pretty positive on this channel here when I do videos and stuff. I like to give constructive criticism here, and that's kind of what this video is going to be here. It's going to be a lot of that. So here, let's switch over and I'll show you the game. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, and I can see my FPSs are sticking around, like they keep jumping between like the 50, 60 FPS area there. Hopefully now it'll stick to 60, but we can never be too sure here. All right, so let's start off with the menus here. I absolutely cannot stand the menu and the way the game looks when you first load it up. Sorry to be so harsh, but I cannot stand the look of it or the feel of it. Have you guys ever loaded up a game and while you were looking at it using the menus and stuff like that, it just made you feel uncomfortable? That's how this game feels to me. It makes me feel somewhat uncomfortable here. Yeah, I don't know, what other way to put it here, other than it makes me feel uncomfortable. The reason being is that when I'm in the game, things just don't look like they're the proper size or the proper weight, or things look really, really busy. Like, if you just look what's going on the screen right now, you got people all over the place. You're stuck in the middle of this warehouse and everything. And the buttons look like they're placeholder buttons. Like up here, here's my information. You can see here's my name, RC. Up in the top left, by the way, if you can't see my mouse cursor. But yeah, you could see, like, I'm considered a level 2 trainee. I've got some XP, but you can barely see that. It's the 13,000 there. The 128,000 above it is my money. Let's check out some of the menus here. For example, like when you go to play, you can see that the game just like feels like it's not running at a full FPS here. If you hit play, you actually have a selection of several different areas to play in, which I think is really cool. You can play in the forest ride, which so far has been pretty fun, though I have been getting into some issues with one of the levels there, which we'll talk about in a second. I played through a couple levels here in Redwood Rush. I haven't tried any of the other ones yet, so maybe we'll jump into something new here while we're here. So the actual playing of the game I don't have as much of an issue with. It's the UI. The UI of this game is, in my opinion, quite bad. And I'll show you some examples here. So when you click on rigs, you'll see here, and for some reason the music volume changed there too. It got louder. At any point here, you can go in, check out your ride. You could tweak. So for example, if you want to set your rims or whatever, you can go in.
For your ride. From a very special set of colors, we'll bring it to you. You can customize plates. Yes, you can put your name or your pet's name if you like. You can change wheels and put new perfect shiny rims on it. And Arizona Derby offers you a wide selection. You have plenty of the cutting-edge spoilers to show who's the boss. And also underbody LEDs to glow all night long, so you will never forget where is your road home after the race is over.
Okay, I think he's done. So every time I come back here to take a look at things, that guy talks every single time. And I don't need him to introduce this every single time I come back to it. Not only that, but you have this like kind of weird menu here where you slide back and forth to see the different things you get. I don't know if any of these actually affect... You see how loud that sound is compared to the rest of the game? I don't know why. We're going to pick a pair of hubcaps here and go with it. Let's go with these. Jeez. Alright, so we bought those. We now have them on. We're selected. Very nice. You can go to spoilers. We actually bought this spoiler earlier. Let's see if we could buy a different one. Jeez, I cannot believe how loud that sound is. Watch this.
We back, baby. You know how we roll. Off-road monsters. Hey, one more race, one more ride, one more time. Yeah, one more race, one more ride, one more time. Let's go. We ride tonight. We the master of the off-roads. Big trucks, you already know we got those.
So that is a celebratory song for buying a spoiler, I guess. So if you buy hubcaps, I guess that doesn't happen, which is what I was expecting to happen. But I bought a spoiler earlier, and it played that, and the game just goes friggin' nuts to let you know that you bought a spoiler for your car. And there you can see it happen again. They literally, like, they say congratulations like 2 or 3 times, and they show the item you bought like 3 times. It's just like, okay, dude, I get it. Thanks. I get it. I got it. I bought it. Okay? Thanks. We're going to actually buy a car here shortly. I want to see if it actually gives you that much fanfare when you buy a car. Let's actually do it now. Let's buy a rig. So, the buying rig menu I actually quite dislike as well. Guys, talking about the UI here, the text everywhere is so tiny. It's tiny everywhere you look. I don't know if you guys are watching this video in full screen. You might have to actually read the text. But it is one of my biggest pet peeves with games. Like, a lot of this feels like placeholder buttons, placeholder, like, programmer text. It just bothers me till no end. I really do not like it. So, the other thing I don't like, too, is that, like, when you're looking at the rigs here that you could buy, there are a ton of cars you could buy. Look how long this list goes on for. There's a ton of them. Excuse me. And it doesn't look like there's any way to actually organize what you're looking at. So, for example, like, you're looking at your car. Our car has 576 power. And by the way, I'm writing this down for a reason. You'll know why in a second here. Aerodynamics, we get a 2.5. Nitro power, we have a 1. And nitro capacity, we have 20. Okay? So what happens now is, this is our current car. This is what we have selected. If you want to pick another car, you pick it. It'll show you the power and everything of that car, but it doesn't show you whether it's an upgrade to what you're currently using or not. So how am I supposed to know whether this is better or not? I have no idea. You just have to, I guess, write it down and then take a look to make sure. So, like, you see this car almost costs $1 million, and the current car I'm using is better than what it already is. So I guess you would buy these because you want a different body style, but I don't see the point in buying a different body style if it costs this much, because I've done 4 or 5 races so far and only accumulated 127,000. To get myself up to, you know, to, like, if I wanted this one that's almost 2 million, I'd have to play through almost the whole game to probably get to that point, maybe even the whole game plus some. And then I guess at that point you're buying a new body just to have a new body to upgrade just because you can. I don't really understand the motivation there. And that's the thing with this game, like, there's no upgrade path for why you'd upgrade your car or why you would change it over to put upgrades on the other car. I don't know. I don't really get it. So here, we have 127. Let's go ahead and buy another car. I'm very curious to see what the fanfare will be for that. What is the most expensive one we can buy? Maybe the Dynamo? Let's go with the Dynamo. Okay, how do we... So select your ring. You can use scroll bar to see full list of rigs. Okay, there you go. And you click the money to buy it. Here we go. Here's a celebratory thing. And that's it. That's all you get for buying a new rig. But when you buy a spoiler, they're like, oh man, check out these spoilers. And they take you up in the next room. They're like, congrats on buying a spoiler. You bought a spoiler. They go nuts. I don't quite get it. I really don't. So we bought a new one, so we can actually go through. We could tweak the car. We could tune it.
In order to stay competitive for the off-road drive, you need to pimp your car and set it to the max. You need to experiment with spring and damping stiffness, front and rear heights of your ride, as well as brake force, to find out what's the perfect fit for you while driving, and your driving style. Here you can track all in real time. This is your garage. It's a little dirty, but enjoy it. Rigs are worth it.
Okay, I think he's done again. So again, every time you come to this menu to adjust things, he will talk again. Every single time. And I haven't messed with these settings a whole lot yet, but because I get so annoyed just dealing with the guy talking constantly. Now, I want to say, the guy talking, I believe, is probably the same guy who's doing all the rap songs. By the way, it's the best part of this game, is that they did a whole soundtrack of rap songs about the game and about driving and stuff, and it's the best part of the game, in my opinion. Once you get out there and you're driving or listening to the music, I think it's a ton of fun. All right, so let's for example change a few things here, right? And they have this thing called off-road test. If you hit off-road test, so there you can turn it off. But I'm not sure if you're supposed to be able to tell the difference between how things bounce around versus how they don't bounce around. Like maybe that, I don't really know. I don't know if that's something I should know or what, but I couldn't tell the difference between moving these things around and not moving them around with the off-road test. I don't know what that's for. Okay, so we are back to this menu here. Okay, so let's see. What else can we do here? Okay, that was the tuning. Upgrade. Alright, so the upgrade too is like pretty interesting. You need a lot of money to upgrade. So for example, if you want to update the engine, if you go to 1.0 on the engine, oh, it's only 10,000 for this one? Hold on, let me go back real quick, because it's cheap on that car. If we go back to the Phenomenon, which is the one I'm starting with here, if we go to upgrade, if we go to 1.0, yeah, see, $700,000. So maybe that's the reason why you would buy another car, so you could actually upgrade that one. So if we go back to this one, we go to upgrade. Oh, wow, yeah, so this one we can actually afford to upgrade. But this is another thing with the menu, though. You can see I moved engine power up to 1.0, but now it's not telling me that I can actually upgrade it. It's not giving me an amount. I don't know why that is. So there's a lot of screwy things with the menus and the way they work and stuff like that. This kind of needs a little bit of an overhaul, you know? Let's see, what else we got? We already did tune. Tweak. Alright, so tweak I found to be kind of annoying to deal with here because, like, for example, let's say you want to change the body color of your car, right? If you want to hit, like, a red, oh, you're like, okay, that one's pretty cool, apply. But the camera keeps moving, so you're like, okay, I want to see a certain portion of my car, like how it looks with this color, right? So you're like, okay, I can either wait for it to go around to the hood, or I can hit next camera. So next camera puts you at this weird angle for whatever reason. And then that camera puts you there. That camera will put you there. That one puts you down at your wheels in the back. And then it starts moving again. So there's no, like, front look at your car for some reason. There's no free camera for you to just, like, kind of, you know, move around at your leisure and look at your car however you want. I can't actually click on the screen to do that right now. Don't know why, but it is kind of annoying, to be quite honest. But you can go in, you can change the color of just about everything here. So you can see we changed that to like a light green under the car. Let's see, we can go back. We can change the spring colors to like a pink if we want. I don't know, you know, the choice is yours, however you want to put the thing together. I really want to see if we can get this thing upgraded, though. There we go. So that came back. We're going to upgrade the engine with 10,000. There we go.
When we ride, we be pulling up with no delay. Never slow down, we don't never on the brakes. Over 1,000 horsepower coming to your place. Get tuned up, hope you ready if you want to race.
All right, there you go. Very excited that you upgraded the car. But again, you got to hear that stuff constantly, no matter what you do. It's really fun the first time, and after you've heard it a few times, it gets kind of annoying. All right, guys, we've been talking about the menus and stuff like that. I'm very disappointed with how the menus look and the fact that I can't read everything. These menus make me feel, like I said, very uncomfortable to like look through and deal with and everything. The sliders I don't feel like work very well. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. I don't know what, like, there's got to be a better way to organize these things. There's got to be a better way to see what level your car is at. There's got to be a better way to organize how you can actually see all these different rigs that are available for you to buy. There's just got to be a lot of different ways to do all of this stuff, right?
Yeah, tweak and tune, hurry up and make room. My engine vroom, them big trucks coming through. Yeah, monster cars off-road, that's the life. Arizona Derby, yeah, it's time to get it hype. Hold up.
So you hit Aquamarine, that's what happens, I guess. They play a song, and then some water comes up, and I guess you get an off-road test in the water, so you can see water splash around. Like I said, I don't get half the stuff that's happening here, but whatever. All right, let's start into a different area, shall we? Wow, that was loud and came out of nowhere. This game seriously needs like a sound adjustment. Like they need to go through and balance the sounds and the music that play in this game. Good lord. All right, so let me point out that right now I am playing with the gamepad. And by the way, here's the rap music too if you want to hear it. It's pretty good.
You know how we do. We ride. Yeah.
By the way, the thing that just popped up in that top left corner, that little, you heard a bling, and it popped up with someone's portrait. Those are tips in the game. But hell if I know what they say, because they are so tiny I can't read them. Now another thing, I am using a gamepad to control the car, which is an option if you want to control the car. However, if you're in a menu, you can barely use the menu with the gamepad. You can see that the menu is kind of sort of working, but now it's not. I can't select back with my joystick. So you actually got to go back to your mouse to hit back. And you can only select end race, resume, and controls with your gamepad. There you go. There's a tip showing up without us even being around to see it. But yeah, look at that tip in the top left there. You can't even read it. Yeah, the UI in this game just makes me feel so uncomfortable. I can't say it enough. One of the other things I'm not a big fan of in this game is that it doesn't give you a map. You have no real idea like how long things are going to take you to get through. You can see that if you look at the meters on the way to the checkpoint, you can see above meters, it does actually say checkpoint 8 out of 40. So at least you know that there's 40 checkpoints to go through. But sometimes these checkpoints, you can tell like where they're facing is usually the way you need to drive to get to the next one. By the way, you can look around behind you to see where other cars are and everything. They don't seem to be anywhere near me. I don't know what's going on. But sometimes these checkpoints are nowhere near the next checkpoint. So you might turn right a little bit and end up going the complete wrong way, right? By the way, I also want to point out, I can't hear my car. I hear the game sounds, I hear the music, but I don't hear my car. So I don't know if the car sound actually works or what happened. There's your nitro boost there, by the way. So yeah, driving the car feels pretty good. It's pretty fun. It hasn't been super challenging so far in the game, I would say. There have been points where like I'll come up to a really strange part. By the way, there's another tip up there. See if you guys can read it. That'll be the game here. But yeah, there have been points where I'll feel like I hit an invisible barrier or an invisible hill or something like that. My car just smashes. It comes to a complete stop out of nowhere. By the way, you see that jet going by up there? I like that they added stuff like that into the game, but at times you can barely see it because of the camera, the angle. There we go. There was one of those invisible barriers. It kind of like pulled my car over to the right a little bit. I don't know if you guys caught that. But yeah, it's really unfortunate because, see, there we go. There's one of those barriers right there. I'm not sure what I even hit right there that spun me out, but I originally had this game, like I said, in early access a few months ago, and I actually wanted to wait to see it release before I judged it, because there we go. Yeah, see, we actually had to go up this way. It doesn't give you an arrow or anything to show you which way you're supposed to go, and no map either. Just pet peeve of mine.
homie, I ain't an amateur. This a Kodak moment, so get your cameras. The people screaming, got everybody.
But yeah, there we go. I see that rock. That rock should not have spun me out like that. I'm in this gigantic super off-road vehicle here, right? I should be popping over those rocks, or at least it could spin me out in the air or something. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to give this game some time to bake. Like, I knew it was coming out. It was still in early access. I was like, okay, it's probably not fair to do a video on this just yet. Let's wait to see what the game comes out to. They decided to release it in this state, and I am just completely puzzled as to why they would do that. I feel like they spent a little bit too much time on the fanfare, like the music and the look of, like putting fireworks and balloons and jets and stuff in the level before, like, things like the UI are worked out. Like, you play any contemporary racing game, obviously to compare it to like a really big series that's like completely polished and professional. But if you play Forza, I mean, you're gonna know what's going on most of the time when you're driving. The menu system, see, I didn't even know that the checkpoint was up over this way. The menu system, which way am I going? To the right? Okay. The menu system in Forza is a whole other story. Like, that's another ball of wax we can get into another time, because that probably needs work as well. But not as much as this probably needs some work. But yeah, I'm just really confused as to why this was released in this state. Like, there's so much placeholder text, like placeholder buttons and stuff, just, ugh. And like I said, I apologize, guys. I hate to be negative about a game like I am right now. Because the game itself really isn't that bad of a game to play. Like, when you're actually playing it like this, it's pretty fun. I actually really like switching up to, and I don't normally play games like this in the hood, but I was playing this game a little bit on the hood like this, and I was having fun with it. And I don't normally play games like that. Or I should say racing games. Here we go, we're hitting the last checkpoint here. I ran pretty much unopposed that whole race. That's another thing, too, is that the AI in this game is really strange. The AI, there goes the jet again. The AI at times, and I guess he's going to do some weird dancing there. The game at times, with the AI, in regards to the AI, sometimes it'll be really rubber bandy, where I've had 2 races so far where I was in first the whole race, and then at the very last checkpoint, some guy just went right in front of me and took first place. I don't know why. For some reason, in this level, I was unopposed the whole level. I didn't see one guy dash in front of me or next to me or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of this at times. I'm really not. One of the other things that this game apparently has too is it has the feature for a drone. We claim our prize was just opening up another level. But apparently you can control a drone in levels, but I am not really sure when or how that happens. If you actually go to your driver menu here, you can see your driver, which is weird because, you know, you basically just pick between a bunch of different dudes with different clothes on, I guess, which is fine and dandy. You know, that's one way to do it, I suppose. But you can click on this button that says drone, and when you go over to the drone, you can select your different drone. And, you know, I picked this middle one here, whatever. And then when you hit info, it actually gives you the controls for how to use a drone.
It's all about challenges and crazy things. You won't only race cars, you might be trapped with another car while falling over a cliff. Or you can't see the fast lane on the road, might have to fly a drone from your car and get to a safer position. Initially, you have 3 drones, and their batteries are limited. Over time, you can collect them and upgrade, or even add other drone skins, which can make you an ultimate off-road champion. What's even cooler, you can press the left shoulder button on your controller and get into drone mode. You can wait for batteries to expire.
Okay, so he says left shoulder button. Now, that's another thing with this game, though. Okay, all right. Can we go back? No, he's just going to keep going.
While you drive your car, and it's the rule of the derby. So wherever you can fly any of your drones and press car mode, you'll have your car there on track, and you can stay competitive. Drones are limited, so use them wisely. Now get on the track, dude. Hold this steering wheel.
Okay, thank you. Jeez. The guy, I don't mind the guy helping out, but he will talk over everything, and it's so loud. So anyway, you have the drones. I haven't had a chance to really use those yet. He says you hit the left shoulder button, which I didn't know was what you needed to do to activate it. Let's get into a race and try that out right now, because I want to see what that looks like. Let's jump into a completely different area, though. Have not done the Canadian area yet, though. Apparently Trinity is talking to us. Oh, there we go.
Let's see who's better in this game. I've driven these streets for
But that
years
audio
and
did
I
not
know that.
exactly start at the same time with the video, did it? And it didn't finish with the, so the video stopped. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so here we are in the first race. And we're going to try out the drone thing. We're going to pause real quick, though, because there's something else you can do as well. I did do this, at least. So, if you hit... There we go. If we go to controls, you can see... Okay, so drone mode was here. I did not see that previously. I did see that there's A driver mode. I don't know what A driver means. Automatic driver, whatever. But when I was doing this earlier, check this out. You could jump out with your guy, and you could, like, walk around with him.
Let's see if there's some crates.
And you can jump. He says, let's see if we can see some crates, but I don't know what he means by let's find crates. Watch my rig. I think you can jump back in your car whenever you feel like it, which is kind of funny. Oh, we are... What happened? I don't really know what's happening right now. I'm apparently stuck? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm stuck again. There we go. Oh, no. See, I'm stuck on this, like, invisible barrier thing. Like I said, actually controlling the car is fun. Like, the rudimentary control of the car and on the terrain and stuff is fun to do. But I don't know what's going on with half of the stuff in this game. Invisible barriers, sound is all over the place, UI is all over the place. Menus make me feel very uncomfortable. There we go, there's some good air there. Whoa! And I feel like we're getting some hardcore slowdown in this level here. Alright, let's try drone mode. Alright, so here's the drone. What do we do? Okay, down to go up. But can we only go up and down? Because if I move this, it's the camera. Wait, I don't even know how that drone mode was supposed to work. The control stick's controlled up and down and then the camera. I don't know what's going on. My review, though, of the game, guys, though, soundtrack is the best part of the game. I love the, like, rapping about car and rapping about being in Arizona Derby and stuff like that. I love it. Reminds me of racing games from old school days. I don't know what's happening here. These guys are now stuck in me.
Arizona Derby.
Yeah, like I said, though, I don't know why they would release a game in this state. For me... Oh, they're pushing me in the water. Okay, great. I can't get away. Oh, my God. Oh, we're going into the trench. Okay. Oh, my God. I think that the team worked on this, like they said in their news feed, for 4 years together, and I feel... I'm sorry, guys. I feel like a real shithead, honestly, like ragging on your game like this if you're watching, because I understand you put a lot of love and care into your game, but it needed a bit more. It really did. And to release it in this state, I think, is kind of a... I know it's only a $20 game, but it's kind of a crime, really. Like, it's... Man. I don't really know what else to say about it, to be quite honest. There's issues, like, across the board with it. And I really wish that wasn't the case. Because it seems like the idea is there. The idea behind it, like the inspiration, the passion is there. And to be quite honest, over the past few months since I last played it in early access, it has actually improved a bit. I would say considerably with the controlling of the actual car, because I remember the first time I played it, the car was like bouncing all over the place, and I had nigh control over it, going over hills and that kind of thing. But like I said, hey, wait, is that a crate? Is that the crate that it's talking about? Okay, wait, we're gonna jump out here. Can we run? Yes, you can.
Must find some supplies.
Okay, we got a crate. We got 2 drones. And everything goes in slow motion so you can do that. Huh. Interesting. Good job. You brought loot to the car. See, that text I could actually read. That's not bad. But yeah, there's just like a whole bullet list of things that are wrong with this game. Like, it's just a really weird game to try and play and try to have a good time with. Oh, and another thing too is that the achievements aren't working in the game right now either. I saw the achievement list and I was like, huh, I played this game for like at least an hour and I didn't earn even one achievement. And having looked, I saw on their forums, their Steam forums, that is another bug they are currently working out. But I was like, I know that I've unlocked these things, but yes, that is why. So this game, unfortunately, still has a little ways to go before it's where it needs to be, and hopefully they'll stick with it, and hopefully, I don't know why I got turned around right there. But hopefully they'll stick with it and get it to where it needs to be, because I feel like it could probably get to that point, but it needs a bit more time here. Man, getting stuck on these cars is really frustrating. Those guys pushing me down into that trench, though, is pretty damn funny, I gotta admit. Pretty damn funny. If anything, guys, I would say buy the soundtrack for this game. Putting this on while you're driving, I think, is something that everybody should do in their lives at some point. I keep getting stuck on these guys. Again, can't read that tip. Too small. This is a really long race. I was not expecting this race to be so long. That's another thing. When you start a race, I don't think that they actually give you a mile marker, like for how long it is, how many miles you're going. Again, no map. Yeah. And I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, guys, so I apologize if that is the case, but yeah. Again, I apologize to the developers of this too, but this is definitely not something that should have been released in this state, to be honest. Okay, up the hill. 2 more checkpoints. We're almost there. There's that. Alright, last one. Let's boost up there. Watch the other guys. I don't even see them in my rear view. There we go. First place. And the front tires are still spinning when the... Okay, there you go. And they crash into me. Of course they do. And my guy's dancing while while getting crashed into. Can we still see him over here? I think he... Where did he get... There he goes. He's dancing like... Oh, look, he's actually moving the vehicle. Look at that. He's dancing so hard, he's like moving the vehicle. I love it. So, like I was saying, how you need to take over with the mouse because your gamepad... Like, I just controlled my car with the gamepad that whole race, but now I have to go back to my mouse to hit continue. Weird. I don't get it. I really don't. By the way, that's what it looks like when you win. I can barely read any of the text that's over here on the left side. But I got a superb, so that's worth something, I guess. And it looks like I hit level 3. So there you go. Been awarded some money. So there you have it. Yeah, we now have another new track to go into. But yeah, guys, like I said, it's really unfortunate. There's just so many things with this game. I cannot recommend this at all until they get this to like a more playable and more user-friendly point, to be quite honest. It's got optimization problems because this game runs harder on my system than some of the other newer AAA games that are coming out. You know, the UI needs a complete revamp. The invisible walls while you're driving are super annoying. The menus need a complete revamp. The sound levels need to be revamped. There's just like so many things going on here. Now the core of the game is there. The core of the gameplay and the driving and stuff is there. But unfortunately, at least for me, that's not really enough because there are other driving games that I'm willing to pay just a little bit more money for that are going to be, you know, a better experience. I mean, you could even get the dirt games, like the newer dirt rally games and stuff like that, for just a little bit more than this game. They're a much better experience. They're going to be much more polished and much more fun to play. And you're not going to feel, at least for me, you're not going to feel uncomfortable in these menus, the way they shift around and the way the text looks, and you can barely read stuff and everything. So Ugh. Like I said, this menu kind of gives me the ickies. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, sorry for that very negative review there, guys. Here, I swear, stick with me. And there will be more positive reviews to come in the future, I'm sure. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. And of course, I'll see you all in the next Quick Save review. See you then.